Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. Before I start this story, I would like to thank Harvey from Your World, a fellow YouTuber, for the story because I have no idea of what happened on this story. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this, and it's going to piss some people off, but I don't give a damn, right? So, a lot of black women, I'm not saying all the black women, but majority of them, is criticizing black men from dating a white woman or dating outside of their race as a whole. But we as brothers never say anything or complain about any sisters dating outside of their race. But this is what how the world works, or this how double standards in society really is. But the thing with that is what's unreported is that when sisters making bad choices of dating anybody, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, whatever, when they're making bad choices and there's kids involved in this, you know, this is basically disturbing. And and I mean when I heard Harvey's story from Your World, when I heard about this case right here, it really pisses me off. It make me cringe because you kill a child. You allow this is a problem with some sisters right now dating outside of their race. They think that black men are no good, and then when they go out with a white guy, they think white guys treat them better. But then but then there's stories out there um, when people didn't tell you that some stories, some white dudes call the N word, or and then when you have a child, especially if you have children involved, white dudes are so much worse than black dudes. I mean, literally, they beat up their kids, beat up her children. It's not even his children, it's her children. And this tragedy happens. So this incident happened in Houston, right? It says brothers describe an 8-year-old boy's beating death in their family home in the new court details. So it says, and this article comes from KTRK, which is an ABC affiliate in Houston. So it says new details were provided Wednesday about the horrific case of an 8-year-old boy beaten to death and his 3 brothers abandoned with his remains for nearly a year in West Harris County. The supervisor of the homicide unit tasked with the investigation, Sergeant Dennis Wolford, described it as one of the most difficult cases he has worked. This one is up there. This one affected us, Wolford says. Brian Coulter, charged with 8-year-old boy's murder, did not appear in court Wednesday morning when a judge read his charges. He is being evaluated at a mental health unit. I'm going to stop you right there. You notice that every time a white man's been charged or killed somebody or beaten up somebody, he's suffering from mental illness. Now, let this be a black man beating up a white woman in a similar situation, right? Now, let's just say if a black man killed a white child, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. He's not gonna be evaluated for the mental health unit. He's gonna be going directly to jail with no bond, no bail, whatever. So it shows you the double standard society is, and sometimes people will accept this, but I'm gonna tell you like this, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is so disturbing that you're gonna and this is why I'm saying about women making choices of who you want to marry or who you want to be in a relationship and don't know the person as a whole, and you allow this man to kill your child, and then it's okay. Or you allow this man to beat up your child, and it's okay. That's disturbing, people. That's literally disturbing. So anyway, let's continue with this article. It says the judge set the 31-year-old bond at $1 million. The judge also ordered him not to have contact with any minors, specifically the minor witnesses in the case, no contact with the boy's mother, Gloria Williams. Williams, 35, is charged with injury to a child by omission and tampering with evidence, a human corpse. A judge set Williams' bond at $900,000. 350,000 for injury to a child, and 300,000 for tampering with evidence, and 250,000 for injury by omission. Williams is ordered to have no contact with her children or any other minors, or no contact with Coulter. Both could face more charges, Harris County Sheriff Eric Gonzalez said. Coulter and Williams were arrested Tuesday evening at a public library where they were searching for news articles about themselves, ABC 13 learned. ABC 13 was there as the couple was brought in to the sheriff's office on Tuesday. Neither responded to questions. On Monday, they were interviewed and released. At a press conference Wednesday, Wolfer acknowledged the frustration the public had when the couple was originally released after questioning. From very beginning, we were focused on getting these charges done, he said. We wanted to get them done as quickly as possible. He noted that a lot of evidence must be processed before charges can be filed. As for the children found in the apartment, Gonzalez said it appears some of them have different fathers. Investigators believe one father is deceased and the other is not in the picture and has no contact with his kids. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna stop you right there. See, this is when they got arrested. There's the boyfriend on the right, and the there's the girlfriend on the left. See, we basically black men, we've been told by sisters that we're no good, we're not good fathers, we're not around, blah blah blah. And they always say that white man is better than a black man. But I agree with Harvey with this. Please don't bring the situation up again, please, because it shows you that when you're making decision on who you with, especially you hardly even know the person, and then you allow this person to beat your children. The thing of it is that honestly, this is why when we come to black father, and a lot of people are like, well, they're not around. But at the end of the day, they do have, even though some don't, even though one father was deceased, he still have a family. But my point is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to finish with this article, is that why would you allow your boyfriend to beat up your children? You know, there's boundaries. If you want to date a person, this is a black mother, but if you want to date someone who's a single black mother, there's boundaries here that you cannot allow nobody to touch your children. Let the mother and vice versa with the father. If a father decided to date outside their race or date anybody, you don't let your girlfriend beat up your children. That's ridiculous. So there's consequences on, if you date someone, it's fine, but at the end of the day, don't let them mess with your child. Because there's stories that I've done too. There's incidents that happen when a person date a person and then they either molest a child or they abuse a child. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. So let's continue. It says Wolford described the boys as special needs children, noting that early information indicates that at least two of the boys have autism. Officials also noted that it appears William has two other children who were not present in the apartment. It was not immediately clear how old the children are or who has custody of them. I'm going to stop right there again. So, ladies and gentlemen, it shows you they have more children in the apartment and they don't give a damn about the children. Both of them don't give a damn about the children. Now, the mother, if this is why I say when a person dates anybody, whether it's inside the race or outside the race, sometimes the mother don't care about her own kids too. They're unfit. And so when you have the unfit mothers out there that don't care about their children and they want to date anybody and forget about the children, you know what? I remember my mom always taught me one thing, and I never forget it. She said, always focus on the children first. Then if you want to date someone, that's fine. But if you have a child by somebody, always focus on the child first, not the other way around. Because at the end of the day, the thing of it is that if you date somebody and forget the child, then the child gonna be abandoned. The child gonna be wandering around, and then you allow the boyfriend beat the child and don't care less about your children. See, this is why I said that this woman, they need to take her kids away from her because she doesn't know, she's unfit, and if a person's an unfit mother, then she don't deserve the kids at all. Because I know I've been hearing cases too that the father always don't get the children. The matter of fact, the criminal justice system always sided the mother instead of the father. But if the mother's unfit and they can't, she can't take care of the kids, then the kids allow the boyfriend abuse them, sexually molested them, and then the court system basically always side the mother. That's when the father, if I mean whoever the father of these children are, they need to really take full custody of the kids. But also they can care less because they don't care about the mother. So this is a really sticky. It's really a sad situation right now. Sad. So let's continue with this article. It says, according to investigators, Williams' 15-year-old son called 911 to report he and his two younger brothers, ages 9 and 7, have been living alone at an apartment at City Park 2 at West Oak on Grand Crest with the body of a third brother who had been dead for a year. Deputies found the 8-year-old's skeletal remains in the apartment. Earlier Tuesday, the medical examiner ruled the 8-year-old manner of death as homicide caused by multiple blunt force injuries. Investigators believe Coulter beat the boy to death, and then he and William moved out, leaving the children to fend for themselves as their brother's body decomposed. The teens told deputies the mom hadn't been back in months. I'm gonna stop you right there. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the mother the mother shouldn't be having these kids at all. But when the criminal justice system set up that the mother always get the kids and the father doesn't, only the father will have visitation rights and everything else, it's gonna basically show you that the criminal justice system doesn't care about black men as a whole, especially black fathers, because there's good black fathers out there. In fact, black fathers would do anything for their children. But when the criminal justice system say, "Oh, he's a poor father," here, poor excuse for a father, and then they allow the court system to let the mother have the kids who are unfit, and that's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. These women, some women are unfit to be mothers. They don't want to be mothers. There's stories after stories out there right now. They found kids abandoned. Some are malnutritioned, and they don't even have food to eat. So what they did is they basically choosing the man instead of her children. So, ladies and gentlemen, and again, like I said, it don't matter if a person dates outside of race or inside of their race. They know that the man is no good, but they choose the men anyway over their kids, and it's not right. And when and then when and according to the story, they haven't seen a mother in months. And it's like you got 3 kids, one is a teenager, 2 are like toddlers, and they have to defend for themselves, and they don't have no food to eat. But it showed, and then one died because you allow the boyfriend beat up your child. Lord Jesus. Let me continue this article. It says in an update Wednesday, which was yesterday, Wolfer said it appears that the boy was beaten to death sometime between November 20 and November 29, 2020, which was last year. It was revealed at Williams' court appearance Wednesday that the 2 younger brothers gave gruesome testimony of their abuse and the abuse of their deceased brothers to deputies. Both boys recalled Coulter kicking and punching the 8-year-old repeatedly until he stopped moving and has black eyes. Oh. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just mad right now. The boy said Coulter then covered his body with a blanket. Williams reportedly told deputies she witnessed Coulter punching her now deceased son in November of last year. She told deputies she tried to stop him. Ladies and gentlemen, how you gonna stop a man? Now, I'm gonna stop you right there. You say she's trying to stop you, you try to stop him. Why would you date him in the first place? Then abandon your children. See, this is why, ladies and gentlemen, some of the women need to really, really watch who you date. Um, and then, first of all, that's your child. You do not allow any person, especially if you dating this person, even touch your child. It's just like like I said, it's happened before when women making bad choices on the men a person dates, and again, like when it comes to people, and single mothers, they need to be very careful who you dating, because if you're a single mom and if you're in a relationship with someone, but I mean, if you want to be a part of a kid's life, whatever, it's fine. But still, be careful who you dating, because you never know what he's capable of. And she claims that she tried to stop him. How did she try to stop him, man? How did she try to stop him? You can't stop a person. I mean, why would you allow a person to even mess with your child in the first place? This is crazy. It says the next day she said she went back into the room where the beating took place and found the 8-year-old deceased under a blanket. Williams reportedly confronted Coulter, who she said apologized and claimed he lost control and keep punching him till he went to sleep. According to the details revealed in court, Williams admitted she knew her son was dead in November 2020, but did not notify law enforcement because Coulter told her not to. Ladies and gentlemen, that's no excuse from her. That is not an excuse for her. She should have called the police anyway. So that is not an excuse for her. Just because he told her not to doesn't necessarily mean she could listen to him. And that's the problem with these women. They choosing wrong men, whether they're black or white. Race doesn't have anything to do with this or the person. It's her choosing him. And like I said, we don't criticize black women going dating outside of their weight, outside of their race. It doesn't matter to us. But when you see situations that you allow a man touching your child, whether it's abusive, sexually, or beating, that's a problem. And right there, she should have kicked him out, or she should have called the police, but she didn't do it. She rather choose the man over their children. Oh man. She said she was afraid her kids would be taken by CPS. They gonna take her kids away anyway, and she was afraid she would go to jail. That's what happens anyway when you allow a boyfriend or a person you're in a relationship with beating your children or mess with your children. It's ridiculous. Now continue to say the apartment the boys were living in was in a deplorable condition, officials said. The unit reportedly had no furniture, no bedding, soiled carpet, and cockroaches and fly infestations. While the boys were abandoned at the apartment, investigators said the couple lived in a different apartment about 25 minutes away in the West Chase district. Excuse me. But ladies and gentlemen, it shows you that she's an unfit mother. And she allowed her boyfriend kill her 8-year-old son and allowing the rest of the children surviving for themselves in the abandoned apartment. And yet they had their own place. See, this is the people, just like I said, single mothers need to be careful who they date. Because you don't know what the boyfriend's capable of. You don't. But they still making bad choices of people who they date. And that, to me, shows you how unfit a woman or a mother really is. It continues to say the couple will occasionally visit the boys, as is evident by a severe injury the 9-year-old had to jaw, Gonzalez says. Investigators believe Coulter beat the 9-year-old and caused the injury about 3 weeks ago. No medical attention was given at the time. The boy will soon go under was the boy will soon undergo surgery. I'm sorry, official says. Gonzalez said it appeared William occasionally provided food by some delivery service, but it was never anything substantial, and instead snacks like noodles, chips, and soft drinks. And that's not the food they should get. But I guess they try to do the best they can to feed those kids. Anyway, when deputies found the boys at the apartment, they were visibly very thin, Wolfel said. The boys said they want donuts, so the deputies immediately took them to nearby Shipley's. Which, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't have done that. You know, I will give them plenty of food, but donuts, chips, that's not food. That's not food they should give them. But at the same time, they are skinny, they malnutrition. Like I told you before, they're malnutrition and they need food in their stomachs. But it shows you that this woman is an unfit mother. She doesn't give a damn about her children. All she gives a damn is the man she's dating. That's all. That's it. This shows you how this. I mean, if that's the case, CPS should have take the kids away anyway, because they live in a poor environment. So it says very sweet children, very nice, very well spoken. At the same time, that 1,000-yard stare, that blankness in the eyes, Wolfer said, of the kids. At the same time, they were as sweet as you can be. Nice children. Neighbors told ABC 13 the 15-year-old relied on them for food. Erica Chapman was one of the residents who noticed something was wrong, and she started giving him food 6 months ago. Chapman Chapman said the teens wouldn't accept cooked meals. He would only take packaged snacks, fruit, and pizza. I didn't want to push him away by asking questions because I knew he was starving and needed food, Chapman said. Aleve ISD confirmed to ABC 13 that in 2019 and 2020, the school district filed truancy papers against the mother. Two of her children apparently failed to show up to school. District officials said the kids were last enrolled in May of 2020. A September 2020 home visit went unanswered, according to the district. Bob Sanborn, president and CEO of Children at Risk, told ABC 13 the pandemic has made matters worse for vulnerable children. It was very easy for these kids to fall through the cracks, Sanborn said. Texas has always relied on teachers to be that line of first defense for child abuse, and these kids never got to that place where a teacher could identify what was going on with them, or begin an investigation, or alert CPS or others to what was happening. The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services is seeking emergency custody of the three boys. A spokeswoman confirmed CPS has a history with the family, but there was no active investigation at the time they were found. Deputies said that so far there is no evidence that Williams was also being physically abused by Coulter, and that she never made an outcry or abuse to law enforcement. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the KTRK ABC ABC 13 article. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, this is for you. I'm not gonna tell you who you should date, especially if you're a single mother, because single mothers has the right to date anybody, and I'm not gonna tell you or anything about who you date, but I'm just gonna let you know, be careful of who you date. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Be careful of who you date, because at the end of the day, you know you gonna go through situations that you always gonna choose the man instead of your children. Realistically, as a parent, children always go first. But in situations like this, and when some black women attacking black men for dating outside their race and blah blah blah, and when black women date outside their race and attacking black men. There's no good black men out there, or there's no good black fathers out there. But yeah, when you talking about white men is better than black men. And then in some stories, you see white men abusing black women. You see stories that white men calling black women the N word. And you see stories like this when a black woman abandoned their children for allowing a white man to beat up your child. And the 8-year-old is no longer here because of it. And then on top of that, you living in a poor environment for children to even survive. A 15-year-old boy has to be a man to take care of their underage brothers. You abandon them because of a man. And you see this story time and time again when you met women that meet no good men. They know that man is no good, but they dating them anyway, choosing them over their kids. Now, again, this situation should have been avoided. If anybody put your hands on your child, first of all, if you're a woman, you need to get them out of the house. Secondly, you need to call 911, explain to them what happened, and let them know what went down. That this man abused my child, and my thing is that my children is hungry, and you know what? There's services that can help the mothers. There's services, there's government assistance that can help that situation. But in this situation, she doesn't care. All she cares is this white man she's dating. That's all she cares about. The 3 boys has been abandoned, malnutrition, and they could care less about this. But and this is the problem. And she knew that the neighbors already knew about this. But if the CPS knew about all of this, she said she's scared that she the only reason why she won't call police, but she's afraid that a CPS, they may take their kids. They're going to take their kids anyway because the neighbors see what's going on. So y'all let me know what you think about this. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it's sad that when it comes to interracial relationships, whether it's a black man dating a white woman or a black woman dating a white man, and in the situation when a black woman said there's no good black men out here, there's no good black fathers out here, and they say that white men are better, you need to watch my videos or watch Harvey from Your World video about this story, because it shows you that it's not us. You don't blame black men for this. It's your decision about you dating this man. You the one make this decision, not the black man's fault. You the one make this decision. And look what happened. You abandon your own 3 kids for the man that's not even worth your time and energy. So y'all let me know what you think. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. And with that being said, this is Lionsden signing off. Deuces.